What's up, YouTube, and welcome back to KangBrosTV, the boxing section. The Skype King, King Khan, has just beaten Lo Greco in 40 seconds. What the fuck? Now, Lo Greco, where do you want to start with him?
I don't see the point. Listen, I know that everyone talks about him going 10 rounds with Spence, or no, not Spencer, with what's his name, Porter.
Yeah.
I think it was, and then he got, he went 3 rounds with Errol Spence. But the fact of the matter is, he lost both times. You know what I mean? So don't make no bones about it. Oh, he's a good operator. No, he lost them fights anyway. He's got a payday. He's happy. He's Larry. You probably will never see Lo Greco again. Yeah? The name's come and gone. I never heard it, I didn't have much of it before. Did my due diligence on it. Still wasn't impressed. But 40 seconds. He's got quick hands. We know he's got quick hands. But you've been preparing for 12 weeks or whatever it is. Do you know what I mean? You're going to go in there and be like, oh, mate, yeah, he was quick,
Listen, to fans watching, right? I was told that Lo Greco, statistically, is the slowest fighter in the division. Statistically, the slowest fighter. And guess who's the fastest in the division? I'll wait. Obviously, Khan. Now, this was a fight that was going to be, obviously, Khan's return after 2 years. You ain't going to put him into some tough fight. Yeah. Now, obviously, like you said, the record, it looked okay for everybody who's watching, thinking, okay, it might be a challenge. But it was never going to be a challenge. Lo Greco looked dead. After the weigh-in, to make that weigh-in, we saw how much weight he lost. He looked dead. And I just thought it was Americans who should talk shit. Now he's Canadians at it as well. He's making Canadians look stupid out here. Now, from the fight, there's not much you can take away from the fight. It's 40 seconds. What are you going to take from that?
I think before you go any further, I think it is important to say it serves a purpose. It was a comeback fight, a tune-up fight, for whatever you want to call it. 2 years out, a good time to come back to the UK, get all the fans on board, la-di-da-di-da. Fair play to Khan. He's gone in there and blazed matey out. Yeah. So let's not give credit where it's due. He had a job to do and he's nailed it. Right. So let's not look beyond that too tough. We'll go into the specifics afterwards. But the job's done now, and he is back on the scene. And I guess he has sent out a message because he's wiped this guy out. Right. Lo Greco he's been in with other guys. Fundamentally has lost. I think he's very close with Malanaji. Feather fists. Do you know what I mean? It says it all. Right. So for me, it was all hand-picked and it was cherry-picked, and that's fine. But Eddie Hearn's licking his lips. Money's been made. He's got another cash cow on his stable. And fair play to Matchroom and Amir Khan. They've done yesterday served a purpose and they've done it. Right. So it was what they wanted to do was done. But I'm not buying it. I'm not buying your bullshit about he's back. I'm this. I'm that. I'm this. Bruv, you beat a guy who's a cack fighter. He's just not a good fighter. So you've done something that is it is what it is. The guy that you fought, it was pathetic. It was pathetic. Yeah, let's not make no bones about it. And then the whole aftermath about I'm back, Kell Brook. I'm coming to chase you, but I'm not buying it. I ain't buying it.
For me, it's this, right? Kell Brook's won. Now, Kell Brook. Amir Khan's won. He knows what everybody wants to see. Now, you've just won. The last thing you want to hear him say is mention other people's name. Now, he didn't mention Kell Brook's name once until he was asked.
The guy would have to be standing in the ring for them to mention the name.
He starts talking about Keith Thurman, Errol Spence. I want to win a world title. You ain't winning none of them.
Amir, listen. Stay away from him. Stay away from Thurman. Stay away from Spence. We saw what happened against Garcia. Leave them alone.
Leave them alone.
Just leave them alone, bruv.
Do you know what I mean? And then for me, I'm not believing his bullshit, right? To say that you want to fight Kell Brook and then to run out the ring. Who runs out the ring? If I want to fight you, I'm not running nowhere. You see what I'm saying? When people want to build a fight, they get together and they just talk it out and say, look, I want this fight. You don't drop the mic and run off. And apparently he's running off to the wrong corner. That's what I heard. I heard some shit about him running off into the wrong corner.
The wrong exit.
Or dressing room. Now, I don't get this. Even Kell Brook went into the ring. Hats off to him. And the one thing I rate about Kell Brook, he went into the ring, but he didn't jump in, push in. He let Khan have his moment. So when Khan had his moment, he ran off like a bitch. I'm sorry. But when you see Anthony Joshua, you see Wilder, they talk about each other as fighters. They don't go around the topic. Do you know what I mean? The fight's always mentioned because they do want it. For me, Khan, I don't think he wants it.
Listen, it's a difficult situation for me because I like Khan, and I've said this many times before. I actually think he's one of the best British fighters that we've ever produced. Speed, he's got the boxing, he can box. His problem is he's got a bit of an ego. He's a boxer. He's entitled to have an ego. He wants to go in there and he wants to prove people wrong. People say he's got a glass jaw. You have got a glass jaw because you've been buttoned on it and you've lost fights. But he's winning those fights. Even the Canelo fight, he was winning that fight. He's outboxing him. He's actually a very, very good boxer. So it's difficult for me because I never want to sort of say, oh yeah, Khan, you're shit, because he's not. I think he's a brilliant fighter. I really do. He's weak when he gets pinned and he's in that. So don't do it. So don't stay in the pocket and go fight, outbox people, do things, go on the inside, do your work, get out. Stay people on the jab, use your speed. So just to get that out there, but. Unfortunately, I have to agree with you. I do think the way it was handled yesterday, it was quite cowardly. Like he's talked about these other people in the division, and then he kept making reference to being at 147, 147, 147. Bruv, you just fought that fight yesterday. Was at 150, I think.
Yeah.
You went to middleweight to fight something because obviously we all know we're not stupid. The moolah. And listen, end of the day, you're the guy getting in the ring, making contact. It's easy for people to sit there and say, "Oh, you should do this or you should do that." You're the one that getting in the ring, but. It's very, very weird. If you really want the fight, why are you making so many stipulations for him already? You've got to go this way. I've signed on to your promoter. I'm chasing you.
What?
No, you're not.
What are you talking about? This is what I'm trying to say. You went onto Matchroom is because that's where the money is for you now. You know that, right? And like I said, if you want to make the fight, you would say, we'll do a catchweight. You're not going to say, oh, you've been chasing after my name for so long. All the stuff that you were saying made no sense whatsoever. Because you've been using my name. Kell Brook don't need Khan. It's because he knows that's a fight that everyone should see.
I don't know. I disagree on that sense. I actually do think Kell Brook needs Khan.
Why?
Because Kell Brook hasn't. I don't think he's travelled enough. So I don't think he's going to fill out an arena in Vegas on just purely him. Whereas I think Amir Khan can do that. I think he's got because he's done well to promote himself worldwide, but let me finish. But I think Kell Brook is probably an all-round better fighter than Khan. But I don't think he's got the global brand that is Amir Khan.
What I'm saying is when Kell Brook didn't have a belt, apparently that's when you're saying, oh, you haven't got a belt. You have to still come to my level. When he had a belt, he had the belt.
Yeah.
He had more excuses. Right? This is what I'm trying to say. It's just excuse after excuse after excuse. Why should Kell Brook need to come down to 147? Why should he need to do that? If you want to make the fight happen, do it at catchweight. If you really want it to happen. It's just bullshit. It's just excuses after excuses. Like I said, he's mentioned other names, avoiding Kell Brook at all costs.
But do you think that's PR? Do you think that's him trying to basically have, I don't know, make more money on the fight? I think it's ready. I think that fight's ready now, and there's a chance that it might go into not to say magnitude, but you know how Pacquiao and Mayweather came about 3 years too late, probably. It came about 3 years too late, and this is falling into that bracket now, and it's not the same magnitude because that other fight was a mega fight. This is a big domestic dust up. This is a big, it was probably going to sell out 90,000 at Wembley, probably. I know I'd go and watch it. Because of the beef that they do have, and I'm actually intrigued to see who would win the fight, because I think, like Kell Brook said, he's quicker. He is quick. He's lightning quick. He goes, but I sparred with him. He goes, but I'm obviously, you got the timing, and the timing will counteract his speed. So it is stylistically a very good fight. But I just think Amir Khan's kind of let himself down a little bit yesterday. The way he went about it, I just thought, God, just stay there. If you really wanted to fight and you want to give it the big in, just chat up. That will sell the fight. 100%. If you two have a little spat, that's going to sell the fight.
And that's why
no one's going to let you fight in the ring, but people break you up anyway. Yeah. So just if you really want that fight and you want to build it, have a bit of beef. It was just handled. I think he just looked like he did look like a bit of a wally yesterday in the way he kind of like said his piece didn't make sense. All the points he made didn't really make sense. And then he's like, I'm chasing you. Well, if you're chasing Matey, you should be the one saying, I want this guy. So you're not chasing him, are you? So the stuff you said is wrong. He said in his interview, he goes, I've not missed a day out of the gym. Well, you have. you must have. You've been in the jungle, so you must have.
That's what this.
I've had an operation on my hand, so you haven't missed a couple of days out of the gym then.
But what I'm trying to say, like, if Kell Brook, he could say to Khan, all right, I don't need you. You don't want this fight? Screw you. I'm going to get a world title at 154. All right? Why would then he need Amir Khan? He doesn't, because then he's going to have a world title in a different division.
But this is the point I'm trying to say to you is that world title fight. Let's say he gets it and he goes to New York or Vegas to have that fight.
Yeah.
is he going to make more money out of fighting Khan in the UK for 90,000, in front of 90,000, or is he going to get more money out of fighting for a world title in front of 30,000?
100%.
So he's going to Khan. So essentially, they both need that. But I think wealth wise, I actually think Khan's probably more wealthy because of his.
Yeah, but he's in all kinds of shit. Yeah. Like on Skype and all sorts, right? So that's what I'm saying. So I don't get his points, right? And like I said, full hats off to Khan for winning that fight the way he did. But he does not want that fight. And for the Khan fans that believe he does, and you disagree with what we're saying, let us know. If you really think someone wants to fight, is that the way you go around about it? I don't think so. I don't think you drew a drop mic and run out the ring. If someone's come in the ring, talk it out. I don't understand. Like he says, you've got a long way to go. That was his line. What do you mean by that?
For what?
For what? You don't even hold a world title. And like we said, you ain't getting it. If you think at 147 you're going to get a world title from Errol Spence and Thurman, it ain't happening. So who are you trying to kid? That's all you want. And I think that's what Khan's been about for a long time.
And it is, the Mayweather fight, he was so upset about it because, listen, I think I listened to the radio, I think Macklin mentioned it, right? And he said something about Khan doesn't win that fight. He goes, but Mayweather probably looked at it and thought, do I need that problem? He goes, he's quick. I probably don't need that in my life. That's probably about the size of it. If you're Mayweather, you probably looked at it and thought, he's quick. He's probably going to bring problems for me for a couple of rounds, but I will win the fight. Which he would. Mayweather would win that fight. Stylistically, it would probably be slightly more difficult than other fights, but Mayweather would win that fight all day. But why was Khan begging for that fight? Because financially, you're made. You are made, right? Why did he want the Pacquiao fight? Because financially, you have that fight, you're made. And you can have it in Asia, because both of them, with the backings that they would have in Dubai, that fight would be selling loads, right? But he's just, unfortunately, like you say, he's all about the P, right? It's all about the Benjamins. And listen, boxing's a short career, and it's a dangerous career. Flipping out, it's I understand it. But then don't make the excuses that you've made and the things that you made, because I just don't think he thinks sometimes before he talks, because he says these things like, about Kell Brook, you're not at the level, you're off my name, I'm chasing you, but then you've not mentioned his name once, so you're not chasing him. You signed for I've signed for your promoter to chase you. No, you haven't. You signed for Matchroom because nobody else is going to offer you the money that Matchroom can offer you. Simple. You need to come back to the UK because you're a bruised product.
So exactly.
Your shelf life in the States is probably gone. So that's why I think it is, and that's the reality of it. But listen, he's gone in and done his business, and although I think he was chatting a lot of shit yesterday, he's won the fight, and I guess it's on to the next one now.
Yeah.
What next though?
Exactly, that's my point. For me, it was Kell Brook on, but he obviously clearly does not want that fight. So what I say to viewers, and especially the Amir Khan fans, if you disagree with us, let us know why. Do you really think he wants to fight? And all this, and do you really believe he beats the other 147 fighters who got the world title? I don't think so. And you've seen it. He's got to that level and he can't do it. Right, so I want to hear from you guys and let us know what you think, because
a lot of people, look, when I have the conversations with the Amir Khan fans, listen, again, I am an Amir Khan fan. Me and you are slightly different.
Yeah.
He thinks Brook wins that fight, and I'm a little bit more torn, and I do have arguments. Some days I'll argue for and against, but I would probably say that, I contradict myself because I did say earlier that I think Brook probably was, but I would be Team Khan. I'd be supporting Khan that night because I'm an Amir Khan fan, right? And that's, whether I think he wins or not, I don't know, but I would be supporting him, right? But I think the way he's gone about it, I'm just, I'm not sure. I think he'll have to have a fight. The thing is, everyone dines out on the Maidana fight. Oh, he did this to Maidana, he did this to thing, that was a long time ago. I think if he gets in the ring with Maidana again, I know Maidana's obviously, he's obviously on the flipping.
He's shooting ponds.
He's shooting ponds and on the burgers now. He's on the flipping, do you know what I mean? He's eating steaks and that. He's a big boy, but if Maidana had when he fought Mayweather, if he fought Khan again, I reckon he wins, because he'd go in with a different mindset, thinking, you know what, I'm just going to throw bombs and go hell for leather, because I know that if I catch him, if I clock him, he's gone. And the thing is, Danny Garcia, you fight Danny Garcia, he was winning that fight, but if you fight Danny Garcia again, he probably loses, because Garcia will come in a bit bigger, knowing that I need to button you once, and I will button you. He's not good enough to not get hit. So, I don't know. Amir Khan's next fight will be very interesting. If he wants to go straight into a super fight and get for a world title, he loses. But then fighting Garcia, it's a risk. So, is it going to be another, bum fighter? I mean, no, I know that sounds disrespectful to Lo Greco, but another fight that he will win. Simple. I don't know if that's, at this stage in your career, is that going to be the right thing to do? So I don't know. After watching the fight, I'm happy for him, but as I said, he's left a bad taste in my mouth as to how he's gone about it. I'm not a fan of it.
So yeah, viewers, let us know your opinion on this fight and Amir Khan's next fight, and do you think the Kell Brook Khan fight will ever happen? Don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Peace.